I am finally back with another cooking video. The last video I made, whatever it was, I was trying to cook a video. I was trying to make a video with my Canon R7, the piece of crap, and it would just get hot. Not get hot, but it would just say it was hot for no reason. So I sold it and bought a Nikon Z6 III. So I'm not buying Canon cameras anymore. I'll make a longer video about that on my main channel. But today we are gonna be cooking barbecue sauce. I have made a good barbecue sauce recipe, and I'm going to show you. What you'll need, for one thing, is a pot to cook it in. You can see green onions in there. You're going to need to buy some green onions and chop them up. No roots. What we will be using as a base is tomato sauce. You can use ketchup if you want, but I don't want that ketchup-y taste in my barbecue sauce. So I just use plain tomato sauce as the base. And then we're going to put molasses in the barbecue sauce. The molasses is what gives it that brown barbecue color. Now, I need to get one more ingredient out. I'm not quite sure what made me want to make barbecue sauce. I just wanted to, see if I could. So, I wanted to make a kind of tangy kind of taste like the A1 sauce, and I put pickle juice in it, and I actually kind of like it better than A1 sauce. But this time around, we're going to put mustard in it, and we're going to put a little lemon juice in there. I also got Best Made dill pickle juice. You can use any brand of pickle juice. It doesn't matter. And we're also going to put some white vinegar in there. So, this being the Chaos Kitchen, I don't measure things. For barbecue sauce, it really isn't that important. It just depends on how much you want to make. Sorry, by the way, I keep looking at the monitor instead of the camera. I'm trying to be better about that. So, if you want a thick and pasty sauce, you want to have more tomato sauce and molasses, and in this case mustard. Those are the things that make it thick and pasty. If you want it to be watery, then you put more pickle juice and vinegar, and that makes it watery. So tomato sauce and molasses versus vinegar and pickle juice. If you want thick, you put more of this. If you want watery, you put more of this. That's it. That's all. And then you got to have something to put it in. You can't see it right now, but I got a food saver over there, and I can hook up little mason jars to it, and I might just vacuum seal a couple mason jars of my barbecue sauce. So, now we're going to get started. Before I turn on the stove, one thing I do suggest you do when you cook the onions, we're gonna brown the onions. So what we're going to need to do is put a little bit of olive oil in there. I'm from Oklahoma, by the way. We say oil around here. We're not going to... Olive oil isn't part of the recipe, but we're putting olive oil in there to keep the onions from sticking to the pan. Right? So we're going to put all this back because we just cleaned the house today and I want to try not to make a mess. I mean, if anybody knew who my dad was, you know that's impossible for me to not make a mess. Like, my dad was the kind of guy, his favorite book was the Bible, and he loved Pepsi, so he would just shove all his trash under the bed. Anyway. So now we're going to turn it on 6. That's what I'm going to do. And we're just going to stir all this around. Get that oil mixed all around in there. Now, one thing you can do, get your little flipper and use the edge of this to sort of get in there and chop them onions better or gooder. Of course, now I got oil in there, they won't sit still. So the reason it's important to chop them up finer is because you want to think about the container you're going to put it in. I like to get this on the shelf and sell it. If anybody has any ideas on how to do that, I'm open to ideas. Excuse me. Okay, now, while we wait for that, I'm going to turn that on. Let's talk about seasonings we're going to use. What are we going to put in here? Okay. I'm going to add a little of this Morton's coarse kosher salt. Coarse kosher. Can't even say that. Okay. Whew, I love the smell of onions. Onions and garlic will open up your sinuses. Dude, I should put garlic cloves in here. I should have chopped up some garlic cloves and put them in here. Oh well. I'll just use garlic. Minced garlic is what I'll put in here. Okay, this is starting to get a little hot. I'm going to turn it down to 4. I don't want to... I turn it up to 6 because I wanted to cook faster, but I'm starting to wonder if that's not a good idea. So we're also going to put a little black pepper, a little bit. Actually, no, let's not do that because I want salty. I want it to be salty. I want the sauce to beat the hell out of the taste buds. Dill pickle seasoning. Great idea, me. Wonderful idea. Lou's here too, by the way. Let's see, onion powder. By the way, anybody that's Midwestern, allergies are killer this year, aren't they? Cloves. I bought some cloves, and I don't even know what that is. Celery. Put pumpkin spice in a barbecue seasoning. See what that tastes like. Halloween barbecue seasoning. There's an idea. Make some Halloween barbecue sauce that looks like blood, but it tastes like pumpkin spice. I'll let somebody have that one. What do I want to put in here? I'm going to put paprika. That's a lemon pepper. Sure, why not? Instead of putting regular pepper, I'll put some lemon pepper in there. Why does this seasoning get all stuck together? They need to put like a brick or something in the mustard seasoning. Yep. Paprika? No. Where's the paprika? It's in here. Chili? No. I bet you'll pull out curry powder. A fresh... Okay, I'm going to take this off for a second. Because... Yeah, Chaos Kitchen. This is what you tuned in for. I feel like that I am failing at trying to find what I want to find, and if I don't succeed, I will beat myself up for hours. And I'm trying not to do that anymore. I'm going to talk about some of the stuff on my main channel on where I've been. Okay, put that back where it was. That back where it was. That goes down there. And that can go down there. That will go there. Okay. Now, red crushed pepper, no. Yeah, try not to burn the onions, by the way. Okay. Now we get to the fun part. Which one of these weighs less? This one. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to turn it down to low. That's what I forgot. Wait. Sorry. I'm very particular. I'm trying to get every bit of sauce out of here. I don't want to have too much sauce, but I don't want to have too little. Okay. Now we're going to add the molasses. So the thing about molasses your barbecue sauce is going to look red while you're cooking it. It's going to look red no matter what. So it's not going to turn brown until it cools down. Turn brown, cool down. Remember that. So you ever heard the saying, flows like molasses, or as slow as molasses? So, boy, is that slow. So you want to just kind of pour some in there, pour a little bit in there, and kind of stir it around, and see what you think about it. You're going to have to just eyeball it. Because like I said, it's not going to turn brown until it cools down. Someone make a rap song out of that. I need a proper spoon is what I need. Oh! Bathe myself in it, why don't I? Chaos Kitchen. This is what you signed up for. Oh, most adorable little barbecue spoon. A little barbecue spoon. Barbecue. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully I'll get the color. Okay. Yeah. You see that? Hopefully you can see that. I don't want to pour it on you, but yeah, that's the color. Yeah. I haven't made this in a while, so I don't quite remember the color, but yeah, yeah, just pour a little bit of molasses in there at a time, and just stir it around. You want no less. I would say like half a cup, or half of a half. Okay. Now, before I put the liquidy stuff in, good. The mustard's already open. Okay, I'm gonna put all of the thick, pasty stuff in. Why do guys think that's funny? Why is that a funny just... Lou heard me laughing and having a good time without him. Okay. Where'd I put the... Okay. Now we're going to add our seasoning in there. That's what I'm going to do. I wonder if I can bring... I'm going to try to bring the camera closer. Turn that... There. You know what? I need a zoom lens. Yep. If my Grand Pete is watching, pick me out a good zoom lens for my kitchen videos. Okay, ground mustard. That's old. Okay, now we added the salt. Now we will add the lemon pepper. Now we will add the It doesn't, yeah, the camera doesn't see a face on this bottle, so it doesn't know what to focus on. I use McCormick stuff. Okay, now we will add ground mustard. We put mustard in there, the liquid mustard. Now we will put mustard, lemon. Yum, yum, yum. Of course, the minced garlic just falls out of there, like. So, be careful when you're putting that in there. Now we're going to put a little, I consider that a little paprika in there. Onion powder. Well, that don't smell too bad. Okay. And now we will add vinegar or pickle juice. It doesn't really matter. You know what? I'm gonna put the vinegar in first. Why? Oh. It hadn't been unsealed yet. Okay, yeah. If you're gonna buy a big jug, be careful when you're pouring it in there. Okay, that's enough. Okay, now we want to turn it up a little more because you want to bring it to a soft boil. Okay, now we're going to take our spoon and we're going to just stir all this around. Okay, now we're going to add barbecue sauce. So, for future, so this is one. I'll put it down in the comments what size this is, but I should just get at least 3 of these. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go see if I have any more tomato sauce. Be right back. I probably do. I buy groceries like we're going to war. Nope. Wait. Aha. My little prepper cabinet. Well, if you'd have told me that I could record a video in 6K, is it recording? Are we recording? Good, 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 good. Okay, now, I'm just going to add a little bit more tomato sauce in there. And now that I added more tomato sauce, I'm going to add more molasses too. Jesus. You could buy a pet rock that'll move faster than molasses. Jesus. Okay. I'm going to take our spatula, just stir this all up. So this is designed, so A1 sauce is designed for like beef and steaks and stuff. So I wanted something that would taste good on chicken. I don't know why. I do like beef, but I seem to prefer chicken and pork more. Isn't that right, Lou? We like chicken. Lou likes chicken too. I'll get that slow cooker and just slow cook some chicken for Lou. He likes the hell out of that. Yeah. I'm not quite satisfied with the texture. I don't think it needs more molasses. Have a birthday waiting on this stuff to come out. Okay. We're almost done. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Okay. While we wait for that to boil, okay, now we're gonna put it back to 6. But we're gonna get that boiling. Mama says boiling. While we're waiting for that to boil, I'm gonna get me an Outcast Wiser. There it goes. It's starting. I like this pan, by the way. It's got a little thing, a little steam thing. All right. Starting to soft boil. I'm just going to give this a little stir. And let the bubbles build up some more. With the lid off. Put the lid in a safe spot. Yep. Yeah. Assuming you can see that. Well, you can't see it. You can't see the bubbles, but... Okay. Now, as soon as it started boiling, that soft boil, you're done. You have just made my barbecue sauce. That's my barbecue sauce. I don't have a name for it yet. Yeah. See, this little mess right here. This is why it's called the Chaos Kitchen. See if I can. Yep. Like all that little mess there, all that stuff over there I gotta put back. There's a spider up there. Oh, I'm scared. Yep. So, I'm gonna clean up my little mess here, and I'll see you on the next episode of Chaos Kitchen. I got another idea I want to do. You can buy, it's called a douchebag, is what I call it. You take some chicken and turkey and you slow cook it. So when you slow cook it, you take a couple of forks and just rip it apart, and then you put it in a plastic bag, and then you put my barbecue sauce on it, and then you just shake up the bag. See, and then you could just eat a bunch of meat out of the bag. I call it a douchebag. And one more thing, I got a Blackstone grill, so we'll do a few live streams if anybody's interested on the Blackstone when I start cooking on there. Because this little George Foreman here isn't quite big enough anymore, and we've cooked on it so much it's all charred and burned and everything. So, okay, I'm gonna go now. See ya.